in our business, everybody says, "Oh, can you give me? I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to do this." Well, you have to do the work. You have to do. Don't expect me to give it to you. I can only do so much, but a 12-year-old kid wanting to be a filmmaker, that's right there. That's innate ability, and then he or she has to learn that path, their own craft, their own voice, their own journey, and that comes with years. This is a craft. It's like no different than a mechanic or a plumber. You have to learn. You're not going to go in and start learning how to change it. You got to learn how to do your craft. Like in the old days with the blacksmiths and that, and the son and the father, you learn the craft, and it's the same thing. But you have to learn it for yourself. As far as this business, as far as being, there's a lot of people that will hold you down. Yes. My father once told me in Spain. He said, "Listen," because I was always talking about my friends. I was like 8 years old, 10 years. My friends. He goes, "Let me tell you something." He said, "You see that?" And we always had crabs, in a bucket, but the bucket was always open. And he says, "You know why those buckets?" I said, "Why are they always open?" And he said, "Do you ever see them get out?" I said, "No." He goes, "You know why they don't get out?" And he goes, "Because as they're climbing and get to the top, someone's pulling them down." He said, "That's what you have to be careful of. That's what you have to learn is get rid of the people who are pulling you down, get rid of the people who are going to drain you." And that's how I interpret it. And I think that's what he meant when he told me that. And I was 8 years ago going, "Really? What was that? What does that mean?" But now I understand it. And to answer your question about this business, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Don't worry about being jealous of, "Oh, that guy did good. That 8-year-old did better than me." Just worried about yourself, because that's a craft in itself, and we all doubt ourselves, especially in the arts, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Learn how to listen to that anxiety, because that anxiety is telling you something that you need to learn. Like I spoke with my nephew the other day, and he says, he just bought a house, and he goes, "Frank, I wake up every night, I'm making sure I get fear, I get anxiety, I'm gonna lose my house, I gotta make more." I said, "Well, that's telling you something." I said, "Don't lose sleep over it. Get up, write a note down, and say, what am I gonna do not to lose my house? What can I do better not to lose my house?" Learn to work with that, because we're filled with anxiety. We're filled with that. There's a great expression in Shogun, where the Japanese Shogun guy says to the Englishman, and who doesn't know anything, and he goes, "It's so easy for humans to go to darkness. It's so easy for us to find that negative, but it takes a long time to learn how to come out in the light." And he says it's deep down in there, and you got to fight it every day, because your own negativity is going to bring you down. And I thought it was it was James Clavell's Shogun. I read it in the book, not the movie, and I always live by that. So when you're thinking negatively, then get up and say, "Okay, what can I do not to lose my house, or what can I